Oh, by the way, I want to go ahead and clarify a few things. All right. I know the thieves are my mom and Jen. They were working together. All right. Ultimately, I know Jen was trying to make a scene on the way out while trying to grab as much as possible, regardless of the factor of that wasn't your money. All right. While simultaneously making a deal with my mom in an attempt for both of you to try to get away without getting prosecuted. And my answer to you on this situation is all right, first off, yes, obviously for you it was about money. How much did you end up going ahead and getting in the process of defrauding me? $35,000? That's, oh, I wouldn't want to have to account for that. That's felony levels. That's, that's go to prison and lose custody levels. That's big fraud. That's big girl time or big boy time, big person time. You know. But also, after everything that happened, the amount of abuse and the amount the mom wants to perpetuate that abuse, well, my mom still wants to deny about helping Jen. Which, let's be real about it. All right. What bothered me about the situation, Jen? Just really acknowledge this, all right? Anyone that wants to go, you know where the fucking door is. That's always been my policy. Because, to be blunt, why are you going to try to fight to keep somebody around that doesn't want to be around? Ultimately, if we don't get along, we don't get along. Sometimes this shit happens, you know? For some people, they find me to be the equivalent of, nails on a chalkboard, you know? Personified. For other people, I ended up being a variable to some of the craziest situations they've ever had. In some circumstances, that's horrifically bad. In other circumstances, it is partly on part of the concoction to be able to make for adventures that you may never forget, you know? And ironically enough, doesn't matter how much you spread the rumors that, going on a random adventure, it's guaranteed to end up leading to, you know, a subpoena and getting indicted. 'Cause no, not the case, you know? Wanting to go ahead and give the hippie stereotypes. Understand, as hippie-ish as, in some aspects I could be, at the same time, I also could have the compassion of a warlord. In other words, meaning, it's like, hey, when it comes down to taking a roll of those dice and everything, ultimately, there are a few things that, if you would have done differently, might have a different outcome. Like, for example, wanting to paint me out to be abusive, while even wanting to go ahead and claim me being financially abusive, while simultaneously financially abusing me. Alright? Understand, it's like, hey, if you wanted to walk, I wouldn't have stopped you. Trying to leave, not gonna fight about it. You trying to go, bon voyage. But ultimately, to go ahead and try to perpetuate a and basically manufacture a situation that would need some type of litigatory procedure to go ahead and try to, make things either as harmful as possible or as lengthy as possible or excruciating as possible, whatever the end goal was. All right? Understand, regardless of what the outcome is, you pretty much lose anyway. Because when you defraud that amount, ultimately, that's going to go ahead and cause, the mother to get ripped away from the child. You know? So maybe if the only solution to financial problems that you have is fraud, maybe come up with better solutions. Because that answer is just going to end up going ahead and fucking up your entire existence. And if you had to get in cahoots with my mom, understand when you made a deal with that fucking devil, oh, there is no escaping that fucking devil. Alright? The sad thing is, what you'll get to learn when, times get tough, you'll get to learn everything that everyone in my family gets to learn eventually along the line. Difference is, I learned it at the youngest, earliest age. You know what that is? If you want to go ahead and have a situation that could even pose a threat to national security, just go ahead and give a female Santos, from my bloodline, just a scrap of fucking power to be able to lord over somebody. And if you ask, what's the worst that could happen? Oh, they'll go ahead and they'll make Maria Antoinette look like a good person in comparison when saying let them eat cake. Or let them eat bread. Whatever the historically accurate saying on that is. Alright? Understand? Starvation as an abuse manipulation tactic. Oh, that's just the start. Alright? Nah. Understand, it goes to various degrees. Alright? And those various degrees, nobody ever took anything off the table that people within the military are not allowed to do to legitimate terrorists. Alright? So, that being said, you want to make a deal with that devil? You go right the fuck ahead. I'm just wondering why the fuck having me linger around while simultaneously wanting to cause as much problems because fuck my existence. And it's like, hey, I apologize that my existence made so much of an inconvenience for you. But, maybe if you want things to stop being fucking inconvenient for you, stop defrauding people of thousands of dollars and then going ahead and questioning why consequences to your actions. Well, simultaneously, understand the person giving the warning. It's like, are you trying to be imposing and intimidate me? No. I'm just trying to give you the warning and hope you'll listen to it like nobody ever does. Because ultimately, look at me, laugh, scoff, make judgments. Well, meantime, seems like whether I've cleared the area or I'm just passing through, usually followed by a hell of a lot of a bigger fish. And that bigger fish used to tends to kind of, like a sore loser, clear the board, flip the table, you know. Differences, though, beasts of that nature, then go ahead and take a controller, start using it like a morning star, and try to bludgeon your skull in with it. Really depends on how temperamental it is at the time. But you get to learn from experience, and experience is a hell of a teacher, so whatever it takes to get the lesson across.